We're now going to Trans-Squeaking River.
It is the beginning of a long day for biologist Celia Dawson.
This is the Higgins Mill Pond. You basically don't want to touch these waters.
Her concerns are algae-infested waters like Higgins Creek in the state of Maryland.
God, what is this thing coming out of the tunnels?
This white scum can be toxic to people and wildlife, sometimes killing large numbers of fish here. Dawson collects samples to learn what species multiply in this creek. She works for the Maryland Department of Natural Resources.
This floating scum would be the dead part of the dead algae, and they could lower the oxygen a lot because of the bacterial action.
Scientists like Dawson do not know exactly what causes algae to bloom when it does or why.
The dissolved oxygen is not so bad.
But they say the problem is increasing worldwide. In Qingdao, China, a large algal bloom threatened to disrupt the Olympic sailing events next month. Soldiers are removing the green sludge, a massive operation the Chinese government says will save the sailing competition. Whether a nuisance like this one, or a harmful red tide that's robbing coastal Mexican waters of oxygen and killing fish, scientists like Woods Hole biologist Donald Anderson say the problem often is created by people.
Pollution from cities, sewage treatment plants and so forth, but also upstream fertilizer applications that wash off of farms into rivers. The rivers end up coming into the ocean. Those are the nutrients that will fuel these types of outbreaks.
The water is discolored. It's got loads of algae in it.
We're gonna bump in!
In Maryland, like everywhere, families play in the waters where Dawson works to collect more samples.
3 out of 4 samples from here were toxic. So we get our results back at the end of the year or middle of next year. So we cannot warn the people anymore not to go fishing or not to go swimming because it's long past. Yes. The toxins can stay in the water for weeks, up to 3-4 months, even if you don't see the algae.
And Dawson says algae she finds here is fed by excessive nutrients that people spread by fertilizing the nearby fields and farmlands. In a state laboratory, Walter Butler takes a microscopic look at Dawson's algae samples. He finds toxins in a matter of seconds.
We're actually viewing a particular type of algae that grows in enriched type situations. Yeah, there's quite a few different species that have toxin related to that,
Dawson takes her samples to the state's Environmental Science Center. In her own laboratory here, she'll work late into the evening, filtering, analyzing, and conducting experiments with the samples collected earlier in the day. The biologist says she's in a race to understand exactly what causes these harmful algal blooms and learn how to minimize their effects. Paul Sisco, VOA News.